Hi everyone, welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome to Barbie Dolls of the Week. So I want to go over some dolls that are just exquisite today, in my view at least. Two of which I just got this past week. We were up in the South Bend, Indiana, Niles, Michigan area, and we went to a place called Picker's Paradise. I believe it is officially in Niles, Michigan. So I found these two dolls at a booth there. Yeah, obviously it's a flea market type antique place, and the person who owned that booth had a bunch of box dolls, which most of which I already had, so I didn't need any of those, and then some dolls out of boxes, of which several I was interested in, and he gave me a deal. He was actually there that day, so let me start with those. Um, and I want to start with this doll. So this is from the Ballroom Beauties collection. She's got this long piece of fabric, by the way, that would swirl around, any way you want to kind of make it. But we'll leave it down right now so you can see other parts. So let's first of all start with her face because it's just stunning. This is what I mean by such an exquisite doll. I have to find a nice place for her, probably on a high shelf, because that's probably where I'll be able to squeeze her in. But she's also got these, let me show you these earrings. Look at these earrings. Now see, this is when this doll I don't believe was that expensive when it was first out. But there's also Moonlight Waltz. Yeah, this is just, I think, beautiful. Love the earrings, love the makeup. The darker lipstick looks good on her. She's got this feather headdress kind of deal going on. And then these jeweled straps on her gown. So let you see the top part of the gown first. It's got this brooch-like thing here. More feathers in the front. And it is rather poofy, but I think this is an example of a doll that is good at the poofiness level it's at. So had it been further out, I would have thought it's too much. But this is just right for this dress. Now in the back, it's pretty simple. There are metal snaps. I was going to say there's a zipper, but there's a different one I was thinking of that has a zipper. And like I said, this long piece of fabric, that's a train, I guess you could call it, or would call it. She does have a ring, but that's a little tiny bit disappointing. It's just gold, a little gold dot. I think that should have been something more, like the earrings. I don't know exactly how, but just a little more impressive than that, I guess. I love the color of the dress, and I think I just dropped a shoe. Yep, one shoe dropped off. It's so impossible to keep these shoes on unless you tape them on. Well, I'll find it afterwards. I see one of them, but two of them are missing. So, what else about her? Oh, the color of the dress. I love the color of the dress, and it's sort of like iridescent. It's maybe a maroon or a burgundy with a darker iridescence on it. So altogether, I think they did a great job on her. What do you all think of this doll? So yeah, these were marked $20 each, the first two I'm going to show you, but I got a deal, 2 for $30, so I thought that was pretty good. I mean, if you order something like this on eBay, maybe I looked and it might be a little cheaper in the box, but you still have to pay for shipping. So then that puts it over. I don't really care if it's in the box or not. It's nice to display it this way. So I was glad to get it. I thought that was a pretty good deal myself. So that's why I got it. Okay, so that's the first one. And again, I'll find her shoes. Now this one also has shoes on, so I'm going to be careful and see what happens. Try to keep them on. Now, this one, I think her hair has been redone. I do not believe this is how it normally came, so keep that in mind when I show you her. I think whoever did it did an okay job, but I don't like the way they did the hard curls. But anyway, I can work on that. Here she is, and I found out This was the one I was drawn to first, by the way, because I've seen that doll, and I think I have that doll in a box. I'm not sure without looking at my list. This is Peppermint Obsession, I believe is her official name, and you see like the peppermint kind of candy cane stripes. I thought this was a good doll for the holidays. She's got these wonderful gloves, and I love this dress. Now, I could have done without this ribbon, but, you know, oh well. A shoe just fell off, but it landed in my lap, so I caught it. I'm just going to take her shoes off so that they don't fall. Here is what the shoes look like. Kind of nice, I must say. But not staying on very well. These are a little better than the others, obviously. Okay, she has almost like a little scarf built in right here. And it, too, has a bow on the side. Again, I think those bows are unnecessary. You know, and I see there's two on her dress. But so wherever those stripes come down, there's a bow, or the candy cane look. I mean, it's not terrible, but I just think it's unnecessary. Her gloves are on, but they could go up a little higher, it looks like. Now let's look at her face, by the way. Hopefully you're getting a clear view of her face. I think she's really pretty. Actually, I think the other one, I like her face better. Here's her earrings. She has kind of like a diamond stud look on her earrings. Her lipstick matches her outfit pretty well. I just think her eyes, there's something about her eyes that could have been slightly better, or maybe it's the color of her skin with the eyes. It looks a teeny bit washed out, but I still think she's really pretty. I mean, don't get me wrong. She has these ribbons on the back of the outfit. I think the coloring on this whole look is, again, exquisite. That's the word of this video. These are exquisite dolls that I'm showing you today. She's got kind of a reddish brown hair, I would say. Auburn, maybe. Would you agree with that? And again, I had never seen this doll. This is one that got past me. I just wasn't familiar with it at all. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, there's one I don't know and don't have. So I definitely wanted this one the minute I saw it. If I had only gotten one, it was going to be her, even though I like the other one a little bit better. So again, here's her hair. They've kind of made it a much looser look than I think it was, because I looked her up online and she didn't have these, like, what are these called? Spit curls? I'm not sure. But whatever these are. And these are really hard and crunchy. I don't know what they put in them, but I don't like that hard stuff being in there. The rest of the hair is still pretty soft, though. So that is Peppermint Obsession, and she's very holiday-ish, I think. Okay, moving on to some dolls I already have that I want to show you today that I don't know if I've shown any of these anytime recently. So let's start with this one, which I believe is called Midnight Gala. And I'm going to leave her cape off for now and keep her on the stand for right now. So this is a much more traditional Barbie look. She does have this wonderful little beauty mark and these fun earrings, very colorful. They go well with her dress, which has this, gosh, I don't know what you would call this look, but to me it's, I don't know, sparkly, I'm going to say, because I don't know what else to call it. Yeah, it's different. And it's a sign of the times. I think this doll was made in the 90s, so it was very 90s looking. I see the base is rather dusty, so I've got my little handy duster here, and I'm going to dust off. Let me show you, actually I am going to take her off this. Let me show you the back of her dress. Now this is the one that has a zipper, and let me see if it'll go up some more. No, actually that's as far as it goes, I guess. It's got a long zipper pull right here. And then she's got this wonderful ponytail that's braided, and this in her hair at the top with this jewel stuff that matches her earrings. Again, she just has the little tiny gold ring, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it just does nothing. You know, it's not. Here's what her shoes look like before they possibly fall off. Just very typical black shoes at the time. There's one of the black shoes. By the way, this is the black shoe from the first doll. I think, are these called mules? I sometimes see the word mule, and I think that's what maybe they mean. Now here's her cape. Oh, and I see it's got a two. Not sure how this is supposed to go on. Maybe like, I don't think that doesn't look right. Let me see if this would go on her arms. Maybe that's what it's supposed to do. It came off at some point. I couldn't figure out how to get it back on, but now I see there are these loops that make me think maybe they go up on her arms. Let's see what that would look like. So it could look something like this. I don't know. Does anybody know? Is that what it's supposed to look like? So that's one way it could be. I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me. But the cape is kind of long, and it's kind of a velour or a something like that. So yeah, she does have this to go around. It seems like it should stay on better than it is, especially with those straps. But yeah, I have to look at the box and see. I have one in the box I could check out. Her face is very normal for a Barbie of the time. I do like the eyelashes. She's got, the rooted eyelashes. Okay, let's move on to another. That, by the way, was from the Classique collection, if you weren't aware of that. And this one also is, and she's called Starlight Dance. And, in these dolls, there was generally a Caucasian and an African American available. I don't know about that first one, but definitely on this one I know that. I mean, it's a beautiful doll in both instances. But this, to me, is such amazing fashion. That's where I would say the exquisite comes in. Look at this fashion. Starlight Dance Barbie, and her stand has her name, so it's easy to remember, or I don't have to remember. Here's her hairdo, which I love a good updo, and it is a wonderful updo. Look at her face. She's got the rooted eyelashes, so I think that's one of the things on the Classique dolls is they do have the rooted eyelashes. I have to say, her eyelash looks a little wonky here. I think this one looks better. I like her more pink lipstick, and this gown I just can't say enough good about. It's, white, which is not my favorite color, but at least it has a lot of sparkle to enhance the look. Let's see what shoes. Oh, she's not wearing shoes, so she must have lost them. I could put these red shoes on her, and they would look fine. But I think, look at that hair. It reminds me of a Aphrodite kind of look. I don't know. Maybe I'm not right. Here's her earrings. Those are fun. Very fun. And let's see. She has a silver ring like those others. So that is Starlight Dance Barbie. Are you all familiar with the Classique collection? Because I think it's one of probably the most underrated and unknown, maybe, by some people, Barbie collection. And I think that's unfortunate because it's such a cool collection. Okay, she's not going on her stand right now. So then let's move on to the last doll for today. Now this was done in conjunction with the Salt Lake City Olympics some years back. And so they gave her this look, and there again is an African-American version, which is just beautiful as well. Just didn't have that one handy, so I show you this one, who I did. Look at this crown-like thing in her hair. And her hair's all up in a bun. I don't know what it would look like down. It's definitely stiff in place. Now here's her face. I think it's great, a great look because, she's supposed to be sort of like an ice princess. She's got this icy necklace. I didn't even recognize it at first, but as a necklace, I mean. And it is there. It's kind of like this. It's the same material as this around her neck. Very light makeup. She's got a long, I don't know if you'd call this a cape, but whatever you'd call it, I call it almost like a robe. Of course, faux fur trim on that and on the arm part or hand where the hands come out. And then the outfit underneath is this wonderful orangey, and that goes into her shoes. See, these are her shoes right there. Boy, look at those. They almost remind me of hooves. That wasn't a bad thing in this case. But yeah, it's almost like a peachy color, and it gets darker, darker, darker. It's just such a well done doll. I mean, they did such a great job on this, and I think it's amazing. But yeah, I have the Caucasian, as you see, and the African American, who is just as stunning or more stunning. Same exact outfit. So again, here's the back. If you put her hood up, let's see what it looks like. Well, it doesn't quite work with that crown. I guess it does, but it's a real stretch. Looks kind of like, I don't know, I kind of like it. How do you like it with the hood up? Well, I think that's it for today. So I hope you've enjoyed these. And by the way, I hope everyone had a great Christmas who celebrates it, or Kwanzaa, or Hanukkah, whatever you happen to celebrate. I hope it was a wonderful one. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't. And make sure you check that bell to get notified every time I upload a video. I'll see you next time. And if I don't see you before January 1st or December 31st, Happy New Year, everyone. Let's hope 2026 is a wonderful year. Bye-bye.